Hello everyone, and welcome to the Little Blue Fly. In today's video, we are going to be adding all of the beautiful colors that fall brings us. The yellows and the oranges and reds, and there's also a few big changes that have taken place here in the entryway as well that I will be sharing today. So we're going to be right here in this little like nook area here in my entryway. But I want to take a moment to thank all of you for hitting that like button, because it made a difference. Excuse me, it made a big difference in my last video. So if we can just continue to do that, I think we actually might get out there in that YouTube algorithm highway, right? Okay, so if I can still get all of you to hit that like button and help support my channel, The Little Blue Fly, I will be forever thankful. So that being said, let's begin, shall we? Okay, so here we are in the entryway, and can you notice the big change right away? Yes, my shutter mirror. I actually have this listed in my Amazon storefront, and you can get to that by pressing the down arrow button underneath this video's description. Scroll down, you'll see my storefront, and you can go right on in and take a look. If for some reason they are out, I know this mirror is made by Bassett Furniture. And the 2-tier table, that was a Facebook Marketplace find. But before I can start decorating, I decided I have to paint the inside of my windowsill. Unfortunately. So right here, the paint color, the name is Ashen Tan. It's by Benjamin Moore. It is a high gloss. And I decided I'm going to be using my Purdy brush. As you can see, this is a really good paint. It really does just go on like butter. Great coverage. Very rarely do I have to do a third coat. Okay, so I have everything taped off here. I would like to share the difference. As you can see, before it was white, and I'm going this now. It's like a creamy beige color. Again, it's called Aspen Tan. But because I like to work with all of the warmer colors, I'm trying to get rid of all the white trim. As you can see, this is just the first coat. Now, I normally just go in one long line when I paint, but for, just because I'm recording, I just wanted to share this part. And then here we're down at the bottom part of the windowsill. I mean, what a difference. Just adding, a custom color, to our liking, to the windowsill or baseboards or walls. It really does make a difference. So bye-bye with the white, and hello the creamy beige. So this part, you see some markings in the wood, and I wanted to keep that there because that is somebody's story. Something happened right there on that piece of wood. And I like to keep those little stories present in the house. So it's completely finished. It's now the morning time. I'm going to be taking off all of the tape. And I decided, since I went ahead and went over the window, I decided to go over the door as well, the trim of the door. And the back as well, and the baseboard. Now this piece right here, this is why I initially started painting, because the bottom portion needed some touch up. And I completely forgot about that piece and just moved on over to the windowsill and the door. And last night I was like, yes, I'm done, I'm finished. And then I noticed the wall, the entry right there on the arch, it needed touch up. So I was just a mess. Anyhow. It's all done now. So all of the tape is removed. I have the blinds back up. And now it's time to get busy with some fall decorating. Now at the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and keep what's down there permanently, because I just love the way that it looks, and I will just be adding in some seasonal color. We're going to start things off with the lamp. I decided to put it back up here. It will stay here. The lampshade is from Ballard Designs. It is all linen, but I decided I just needed more of an old world, fairy tale, French country look and feel. So I actually have shared this in a previous video. I went ahead and painted that trim around the lampshade and aged it up. So that trim, I actually purchased it from Hobby Lobby, used antique gold acrylic paint, and then my glaze to age it up. And then the lamp base, that is from Ballard Designs as well. And I always wait for sales with Ballard because they can get quite pricey, but worth it. Their pieces are so beautiful. And as you can see, the lampshade goes perfectly with Lord Baxter back there. Just a great fairy tale feel. And next, I decided to bring back, and so these two pieces will always stay here up on top. This was a Facebook Marketplace find. I picked it up for $50. Very heavy piece. And we're going to see what I can come up with here on the top tray. So everything here is what I'm going to try to achieve here today is to bring it down a little bit. Just make the decor look a little bit more relaxing, if that makes sense. And so I decided to place in a terracotta pot. I do love the finer decor. I absolutely love it. I'm thrilled that after all these years, I can finally bring it into my home, but I still want to make sure I can always have that feeling of comfort. I don't ever want my home to be like, oh my gosh, I can't sit here, because one doesn't feel comfortable enough to sit back and relax. So I always try to bring my decor pieces down to a more relaxing feel, if that makes sense. Inside the terracotta pot, I placed an ivy topiary. So the form, this is just a round form, and it can be, these forms can be purchased at my Amazon storefront. I just added some burlap. I pulled the string off the ends to give it a little fringe around the pot. And then I just planted in some ivy around this form. And it just goes right into the soil. It is really just that simple. And the terracotta pot came from Merrifield Garden. But as far as that pot goes, I'll look to see if I can find it on Amazon. If I can, I'll put it in my storefront. Next, I will be working with this garland that was purchased many years ago. Has all the wonderful colors of fall. The wispy looks like, like a hay. And then some greenery stems and some berries and different acorns, and that looks to be like some form of a nut. We have the golds, and again the reds and the greens and the yellows, all the wonderful colors of fall. So I have two of them, and I decided to place one up at top on the mirror, but I didn't want to go with the natural landscaping of the mirror and go around the arch. I just felt like doing something creative and fun, and so I just let it swoop down on the front part and go down the sides. I just never know what I'm going to do. It's all about the feeling, what I'm feeling at that moment. And I decided to add the other one right here. Sorry about the recording. I actually have my camera in my hand, not up on the tripod. But I just sort of have this going like an S, sort of like a snake, weaving. Because it definitely will bring more character than just a straight line garland. And here is one of my bookends that I will be using. These were purchased from the Flower Gallery in Manassas, Virginia. Perfect age, chippy goodness on these cream-colored bookends. And bedtime stories. Okay, so I'm just going to share quickly. I'm not going to go into great detail, but these books are illustrated by Scott Gustafson. Sometimes I say Gustafson or Gustafson, but I believe it's Gustafson or Gustafson. I apologize for that. But anyhow, he offers these fabulous bedtime stories on his website, or at his website, Scott Gustafson just scottgustafson.com. These can also be purchased on Amazon as well. I believe I have them in my storefront. I'm not really sure. But just go ahead and let Scott and his wife Pat know that Beverly from the Little Blue Fly sent you over. And, these are great for reading, for the grandchildren, again, just for self. To go back to those childhood memories of the fables and fairy tales. And they really can be added in to the decorating for every season. summer, spring, winter, fall. And I decided for right now, I think I would like to keep the yellow one up front for fall. It is the bedtime stories. Now, I'm sure you're going to see these books switch about during the video. But these books are something that are very so enjoyable and magical to have inside your home and your decorating. They're beautifully displayed. They display beautifully. So I will be working here in the back as well. So I have the ivy topiary up here in the top vessel. And now I'm going to add in my vintage. I'll see if I can do better at showing the bottom part of this. But this is a vintage decoy duck. I purchased this many years ago. Okay, now here I'm going to see it's open. It's much better for those of you that like to, because some of you actually like to read as I am displaying some of my decor pieces. So here you go. I tried my best. And such great detail on this, right? I love the aged look and feel. And I know exactly where I will be placing this piece. Right up top here in the garland. Because after all, they love to sit down in the tall grasses, right? So I thought it would be perfect placing it up there. Now we will start, I believe, now here on the top tray again. And I will be using these 3 books. The bottom one has this perfect sagey green color for fall. Then you just have the old paper and with some of the gold accents on the other books. I love when I can find these for a quarter or 50 cents inside my thrifting adventures. So I have a stack of 3, and on top I will be placing this bronzed duck. I really don't remember where I got this piece from, but I believe it was like probably Home Goods or TJ Maxx, one of those stores. So I placed it on top of my books. And now to decorate around, I will be using this pine cone pumpkin. Because again, what I'm trying to do with this vignette, with this table, is pull it down, pull down the more luxury looking pieces to more of a natural, comforting look and feel. So 1 pumpkin is in the back and 2 up front. And 2 up front and another up front. I will be placing in some faux leaves So as you can see, I'm using faux branches. I have some dried naturals for my pumpkins. I like to mix the two. I always state that. I will continue to state that. You know, bring in your dried naturals with your faux flowers, because it will make your arrangements look and feel just that much more natural. And here's another pick. Now these 3 picks came from Merrifield Garden. But as you can see in the back, that pumpkin's kind of, I like that it's back there, but it's just down too low. So I'm going to lift it up by placing it on top of this terracotta pot. And as you can see, it is up now. And when you go in closer to this arrangement, you can see the terracotta pot very well. But now to lighten things up a bit, so I will be adding in one of my vintage candle stands. Excuse me, with a pillar candle, a root pillar candle. You know, again, just to lighten things up a bit. And then over to the right here, I decided to place my other vintage candlesticks with a little lantern in the center that was purchased from Home Goods. On top of the candle stands, I will be placing in these little candle holders, or candle embellishments, I guess I should say, with Mackenzie Childs candles. And those striped black and like it's like a grayish creamy color in between. They're everything. They just bring the perfect whimsy every time when they show up in a vignette. I need more of these. I really do. Now to warm up that back corner a bit, I placed the same enamel vase in the back, Facebook Marketplace find, and just have some dried branches, some naturals coming out of it. Again, mixing the naturals with the faux all the way through this vignette. And I decided to place my vintage duck in the same spot right there. Works perfectly for every season. Spring, summer, fall, winter, all of them. Now over here to the side, I'm going to have to paint that plate right there so that it will blend in better. But underneath, I finally was able to add Mr. Mustache Man up there, and he will hold whatever I feel like placing on there. I really don't think it will ever be keys, because that's just too ordinary. So we'll just have to see eventually what will start hanging from the mustache. But it will be something enjoyable for sure. And then I will come back with a surprise. You will see on the closer look what I decided to place up there to use as a hat, scarf, coat hanger. I'll just go ahead and show you. Why not? These are old, very old wooden shoe forms. Back in the day, this is what helped craftsmanship with shoes. Those handles, they come with this shoe form. So with these older homes, I will be adding in some warm colors here at the bottom. But in these older homes, we don't have much storage. I don't have a closet where people can hang their coats in. Those picks were purchased from Hobby Lobby. And then, because everything down at the bottom is faux, I'm going to bring in some naturals by using gourds. Again, you can never go wrong when you mix the naturals with the faux. But getting back to the storage, so it's hard, because I don't have a coat rack, I don't have a coat closet, so I thought, well, what could I do but yet stay in the fairy tale theme? And I thought, how perfect. The shoe forms. They will work perfectly. And the gourds were just placed in, one to the side and one inside of the pot. And up here at top, when the grocery stores start having, the real pumpkins and gourds, I will be placing them up at top in that vessel.